a few of my friends have already heard this. Hudson, I told him this a few days ago, but a lot of people know the story of, Jesus going to the cross, and it's unfortunate, but a lot of people have become numb to the whole thing. It's just repeated over and over and over, and you don't get the gravity of it. But if you've watched Passion of the Christ, and if you haven't, I suggest it, but if you have, you'll remember after Jesus is flogged and has the crown of thorns on him, he's up there with Pontius Pilate, and they bring out Barabbas, who was a murderer and an insurrectionist, if you didn't know, and just an all-around bad dude. And Pilate says that, it's the Sabbath, I'm going to release one of these guys, so who do you want, Jesus or Barabbas? And I mean, there's no comparison, and that's just a crazy thing to say, but anyway, the crowds, they're chanting, give us Barabbas, we'd rather have him. And so sure enough, the Roman soldiers come up and they unchain Barabbas, and he walks down into the crowd, and never once does it say that he, tells Jesus, oh, well, I owe you my life now, you are dying in my place. Does that sound familiar? And so anyway, leading into that, that just shows that you are Barabbas, I am Barabbas, we are all Barabbas, and I'm gonna go into that because Barabbas, I said, I'm Barabbas. Well, I'm gonna tell you why. So anyway, a lot of people know me. Like I said, I've been coming here for a few months. Graduated with some people.
Yeah, class 16.
That's right. All right. And anyway, believe it or not, some people have said that I was mild-mannered. If that's what you guys think, I can't wait to show you. I can't wait to show you different. But anyway, yeah, I grew up in a Christian home. We were raised in a very God-fearing home. Jessica, actually, when she was really young, asked why we didn't go to church, and I know that kind of, Abby, you said the same thing. That's why we didn't go to church, and all of her friends did. So my parents were like, well, that's it. Now we're headed to church. So I've been in church ever since I was in kindergarten, and I went to Sunday school every Sunday, and a lot of times, once I got up into like 6th, 7th, 8th grade, it was basically just me and Miss Dana, one of the people who taught us. And you can learn one-on-one like that, but it's kind of sucky when you're just a teacher and you're teaching one person out of a Sunday school class. So then eventually I stopped coming. I started at 12:20 shop. And anyway, no, 2, I see you. And anyway, so I was just working, and I was like, man, I got money now, so that's all I'm worried about, right? And so I would work near every Sunday, and 1220 is ran by Christian owners, but the things that we would say, the things that we would do, the things that went on behind the scenes were very, very far the opposite way, and I know that I can attest to that. I would be saying just god-awful stuff, and not really participating in like partying and stuff like that with my 1220 crew, because come on, who wants to hang out with their boss and throw some back? Right. Anyway, in school it kind of showed too, because Dylan, Robbie, Halfcock, everyone saw me and they were like, oh, that's Nick, he's got a foul mouth, and that is unfortunately what I was known for, basically. I would be a joker and stuff, but it was like every other word was just either an F-bomb or just something just crude. But anyway, yeah, I was just not really in a good place, and it got to the point where one of our friends, Chase Goodman, would literally witness to me every single day. And I was like, this was like for 3 or 4 years, and I finally, senior year, I said, look, man, you have to stop. I don't care about this. I know y'all laughing and stuff, but like,
That's bad.
that's awful. Like,
Go Chase.
dude, right, absolutely, and I apologize for this, but anyway, this dude is pouring his heart out to me and just trying to show me God's glory, and I was like, I do not want to hear about it. I don't care about some grandfather in the sky who sent his son to die for me. It doesn't matter to me. That's literally the words I use. And anyway, so that tore him down, and there have been people who have tried to witness to me since, not my parents, of course, because I would not say the things that I would not say the things that I said in school to my parents because, so, right. That was never an option. So I did kind of lead the double life. Like at my house, I was just kind of quiet, or I just, oh yeah, praise God, right? But I didn't believe that. I believed absolutely the opposite. I would tell people, oh no, well, I don't want to hang out with you if you're a Christian because I'm an atheist. So I was claiming to be an atheist and having all these, literally having parents that are like, hey, we should pray before our meals and stuff like that. And I was just, like, they'd be praying, and I was just like, come on, can I eat these chicken tenders now? So, anyway, all right, I see. And so I was just like, who cares about this whole Christ thing? Because I'm learning it as a kid, and I'm thinking, all right, those are some good stories. That's nothing more than Aesop's fables, basically, which is a really dire way to look at it. And anyway, that's enough of the bad stuff. That is not who I am anymore. Hallelujah. So, I came to Vessel. Actually, here was the first time that I came to house church, and I was like, whatever. I just wanted to do something after work. I just wanted to unwind, just hang out with my friends and stuff like that. And I knew that Dylan was here. Then again, I did not know how Dylan was he was never a bad kid, but it was just like,
You knew high school Dylan.
exactly, I knew high school Dylan. And so when I'm sitting here and I'm listening to this dude talk about God, I'm like, man, that is not the Dylan I know. And so I talked to him after a little bit, and I was just like, you seem really different. And honestly, like, we sang some awesome songs and stuff during house church, but none of that touched me because I was just like, okay, it's just songs to, like I said, the great grandfather in the sky. No. But anyway, I go home and I said, okay, all of these people are pouring out love to me, and that's another thing. Vessel is like the most loving people I've ever met in my entire life. Because Dylan knew how I was. A lot of people knew how I was, and they were still like, hey man, I'm glad to see you, pouring out love to me. And I was like, man, you must not remember how I was. Anyway, so I go home and I was like, all right, God, I'll give you this one more shot. You know what I mean? I'll listen to a praise song, and we'll just see what happens. And what do you know? I could only imagine. I just went on Christian, a gospel station. I just hit shuffle, and I Can Only Imagine comes on, and as soon as I hear that piano, I was like, boom. It was awesome. And there I am. My parents come in, and I'm just sobbing. It's like 11 o'clock at night. I'm just sobbing on my floor, and my parents are like, what's wrong? And I was like, I believe. And anyway, heck yeah. So I was like, dude, this is the greatest thing ever. And I was praying, and for the first time ever, I really prayed. And you hear Adam or Mason, or you hear people pray and stuff, and they're going on for 5 minutes. That is real deal prayer. That is the stuff when it's just you and God, and you are talking directly to Him, and you can feel that, man. And whenever I was praying for that time, I clocked myself, and I was 10 minutes, and I was like, oh, well, time flies when you're having fun, I guess. But me and God had a lot to catch up on. So I was just like, dude, this is a whole life change, and literally just like that. Here I am over here on death, about to preaching against God, basically. I come and just hang out. And then boom, I'm over here, and I'm just like, all right, man, I have got to spread the word of God. So literally the next day, I go and that was still when I was in Southern Union, so I still had classes going on at that time. And I was reading my Bible and stuff, and I just couldn't wait for my day to be over with at school so that I could go and witness, and that's pretty cool. But anyway, I go and I hit up Jesus Chicken, Chick-fil-A, of course. Anyway, I'm sitting there, and this is also really funny. I'm sitting there with my Bible, and I'm just reading, and go therefore and make disciples of all nations. I said, okay. So I'm sitting there in Chick-fil-A. There's a girl behind me that I noticed when I walked in. She was younger, about our age, you know what I mean? And I said, all right, God, you just point them out to me, and I'm going to go talk to them out loud again. Now, I mean, I probably said it at that volume. Anyway, and they weren't even busy, so everybody heard me. And then I turned around, I looked at her one more time, and I said, is that her? It's good enough. Like, I was like, all right, here we go. So I turned around, and she is just like a deer in headlights. You know, I had that like American Psycho, like, it was awesome. And I walked up, and anyway, I was like, you mind if I sit down? She said, I said, well, let me just say, I'm Nick, and I got saved literally less than 24 hours ago, and I was just wondering, are you saved? And she said, oh, yeah. I was like, yeah, go ahead and sit down. Because she said, I mean, I'm not trying to be weird or anything, but I thought you were going to come kill me. And anyway, I sat down, and I was just like, so like, tell me your story of salvation. And I said, I'll tell you mine, and then you tell me yours, if that's okay with you. She said, absolutely. So I'll tell her basically what I've said prior to this, and she tells me, and she was like, you know, I've been struggling, and I've been having doubts and stuff like that. And then it was like everything that you guys talked about the night before about doubting God. I remember it vividly now. And anyway, it was like God was just like, oh, so you were listening after all. And anyway, so I'm telling her all of this stuff, and you know, on the Bible app, I look it up, and it's awesome. You guys should get it. You can just literally look up any word, and it will give you verses to that. So I just look up doubt, and bada bing, bada boom, there we are. And then she's crying soon. She's you know, she's sobbing basically. She was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that, like, if a new Christian like that can lead me, then man, I must have been walking away from God. And I said, well, I mean, if that's the case, and I'm glad that I came over here. And she said, yeah, I am too. And I said, you know, it's cliche now, but God works in mysterious ways, even people with an American Psycho smile. But anyway, so then I was just like, you know, we can be accountability partners, and that's something, you know, we do here. And anyway, I texted her, and I was like, hey, I hope you're having a great day, and all this stuff every day. And she fell out of her faith, and then she came back, and now she's stronger than ever, so that's awesome. And then I was like, well, I'm just going to witness to people who are closer to me. And you know, I had a girlfriend at the time, and she was a Christian. She was a Christian whenever I was not. And I feel like that kind of made me want to see what the whole God thing was about. But I knew like the things that we had done, and I knew the situations that we had been put in, and I was like, well, how can you be a Christian, but like this is the kind of stuff that happened? And we had that whole talk. But anyway, it just felt like I was holding on to her, and unfortunately I started to kind of get back into my old ways, and I just had those just awful thoughts coming back up, and I didn't want that, of course. Now, you know, I got like 20 people who were like, hey Nick, you doing good, and all this other stuff. Hey, you following God's word? And I'm like, yeah, but really I'm like thinking of something else. And anyway, I almost fell into that whole following into the motions, and that's something that I hope and pray that you guys never do, because it is way too serious for just a routine. So I hope you guys believe all the words that you were singing about "Great Are You, Lord," because that is a banger. And anyway, and so we were there, and I was talking to her about this, and I was praying with her, and I was talking directly to God. And she was like, "Why are you crying?" And I was like, "Well, I mean, whenever I'm like so passionate about something, especially now, like I just got really emotional because like Amazing Grace is, how precious did that grace appear the hour I first believed. So, I would be weeping times when I'd be praying, and she was like, "Why are you crying? Are you sad?" And I was like, "No, these are tears of joy because I'm redeemed. I'm clean.
Yeah.
Hallelujah."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I knew where I was, and I knew, hey, I was on this end of the spectrum, and now I'm way over here.
Come on.
People have always said that, "Oh, Nick, you're either far right or you're far left." Well, hallelujah, I'm far into life now. So, anyway, I was worshiping the creature instead of the creator, unfortunately. And as God does, He took that away from me, and I did kind of question it. I was like, how can you do this to me? This is the person that I loved more than anyone else in the world. And then it was like God said, well, yeah, that should be me. So I was like, well, thanks. And, so I'm sitting there, and I'm sad about that whole thing. And it was actually one night when we were leaving from Linville on a Wednesday night service. I just went on my Spotify, and this was back when I had secular music on my phone too. I just had a few Christian songs, and I just hit shuffle, and Even If comes on, and I was like, all right, now I'm starting to feel it now. So, I'm like, whatever, I'm gonna sing this song, and I've just got tears running down my face as I'm singing. Partly because I was sad, probably because I was just like, hallelujah. So, anyway, it really just didn't occur to me until I was singing that, so heartbroken. I know you're able, and I know you can save through the fire with your mighty hand, but even if you don't, my hope is you alone. So you have to have that just childlike faith, basically, of, God, you gave it to me, you can take it away. It ain't my possession in the first place, basically. So I was devastated, but here I am today. Not, I still witness to people, and I still pray that she comes to know God and exemplify it the way that all of these people do, because y'all are some awesome folks. And anyway, and I urge you not to be just on that edge, because if you're just on the verge, you're not experiencing true happiness. Because I was like, oh dude, I love doing all this stuff I'm doing. I love sex. No, absolutely not, because as we've talked about a ton of times, Adam harped on it this morning, that is just momentary pleasure compared to just eternal peace. And that is 100% a true fact. So, I also urge you, don't just fall into the motions of it. When you're singing the songs, just really, really feel them. Just really sing them out to Christ, because He's listening to you, and He's watching you, and we have to worship and stuff to be in the presence of God. That was something that was in a sermon that I saw. And whenever you are worshiping as a massive group and stuff, you can feel it, dude. Like everyone is just like all of a sudden like a great singer, and I don't know what happens, dude. It's awesome. I see you back there shaking your head. But anyway, yeah, like now I'm able to. I prayed on a Thursday night. I prayed because my man Hudson over there was wanting to talk, or I was telling him, hey, I'm gonna talk to you about Christianity, and he was like, all right. And so, we were praying and stuff, or I was praying, and I was like, God, just speak through me, like, please let me reach this dude. And then I caught myself because I was like, well, it ain't me reaching him, so. Anyway, I was just like, speak through me and just let you reach him through me. So I was like, all right, that's the better of the two. And so then we sat down, and we got done at like 10 o'clock, and then when we got done talking, I look and it's like 12 or like 1. It was just crazy. And I was like, man, I don't even remember what I said to him, because my prayer came true. God was speaking through me, and that was literally the easiest it's ever been to talk to anybody ever. And then, Sunday, Abby gave her testimony, and Hudson I was looking over at Hudson, and I was just dying laughing, because it was like everything that he told me, she said. And I was like, man, I promise you, I did not tell her. My man Hudson is about to step into Christianity, or for real. And all of this. So she knew nothing about the whole situation, and that just shows how God works. Justin asked me before I came up here, he was like, "You got any songs you want me to sing?" And I said, "Even if," and he was like, "Oh, well, we're gonna do that anyway." And literally all 4 of the songs were just songs I was singing like on the way over here, which is crazy. But anyway, you know, God speaks. God will prepare you with those hype songs that you got. So yeah, I was just really, really amazed that I didn't talk to him, and he was singing songs that I was screaming in my car all the time. So anyway, I just hope that all of you guys come to know Christ how I know him, because I know I joke around and I know I play around and stuff, but this is like the real deal, man. Like,
Amen.
there is no peace better than this. And I mean, I can't articulate myself to describe him because he's indescribable. You know what I mean? He's all powerful, omniscient, and he died for you, even though you may never know him. He died for people who never would, you know, come to know him. He knew that for Barabbas to be treated like Jesus, Jesus had to be treated like Barabbas. So that's awesome. And anyway, I hope that you guys can derive something from my testimony. If you want to talk to me about anything that I've said, or if you want to like know more about something, just hit me up. I'll be there. But anyway, I would love to talk to everybody about like coming to know Christ how I know Christ, because like I said, I got this fire within me, and it's like a bonfire now, and I hope that all of you guys have it as well. So anyway, we're going to do like a time of invitation, and guys, just bow your heads, close your eyes. Dear Heavenly Father, I thank you for everyone in here, God. I just pray that someone will relate what I've said to their life, God. And I pray that you will just bless us all, and that you will just shine through me, and just shine through everyone in here, God. I pray that we will go and make disciples of every nation, Lord, and that we will bring more brothers and sisters into your kingdom. And I just thank you for your Son, Jesus Christ. He is just the greatest gift that we ever could receive, and just reckless love that you have, Lord, for us, even when we turn away from you, even when we are your enemy as I was, God. You still fight for us. And I love you so much. I ask all these things in your Son's holy and precious name.